Happy Halloween, everybody! It may be October 3rd, but it's still the Halloween season. Today in GTA Online, of course, we have the brand new weekly update. Rockstar has introduced their first of 4 weeks of Halloween here in GTA Online. We're going to have a whole month-long celebration of a bunch of different bonuses and discounts and Halloween-themed rewards and all that, and this marks week number 1. We're going to be going over all of the most major changes for the week, including the Halloween rewards that you can get for logging into the game right now, all of the returning Halloween content. We have the face paints, we have the Halloween masks, the car horns, and the bobbleheads. Pretty good weekly challenge this week. Some removed vehicles that you definitely want to check out. Money bonuses, discounts, all of that stuff, and more. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning back in. This will be your one-stop shop for everything GTA Online this week, and let's get started. When it comes to your free Halloween-themed login reward for this week here in GTA Online, all you need to do is join either a public session or an invite-only session. Just load into GTA Online, and you will unlock the black demon goat mask that you can see my character wearing. It's that simple. And in addition to this black demon goat mask that you can get just for simply logging into the game, we have the rest of the limited time Halloween masks that have made a return to the game for this week and probably for the rest of this month here in GTA Online. All the different types of Halloween masks are featured back into the game. Of course, none of these are like brand new. Some of these, a lot of these have actually been here since year 1 of GTA Online, so they are super old. But nonetheless, if you want to own some of these, say if you're, just kind of new to the game over the past year because you haven't been able to buy them, well, definitely pick them up this week. You could probably expect to spend probably about $2 million on all the monster masks in this section. You could spend upwards of probably like $5 million on all the masks in the game, but just the monsters with the Halloween masks this year, you could spend probably about $2 million on them. So definitely take advantage of that if you want. Just head to any barber, and this is where you could take advantage of all of the Halloween face paints, which of course, once you purchase these, you could apply these to your character at any time, but you can only actually buy them in the first place during like the weeks and the months of Halloween when they're actually available, which is always in October. So we have a bunch of different options here. Of course, you can apply whatever Halloween face paint you want. There's a ton of options here. If you're looking to make like a ghost operator from like the Call of Duty franchise, you can use actually some of these Halloween face paints to get that done. There's tons of options here, a bunch of different skulls, demons, and things like that. So just take your pick. Of course, when it comes to the car horns, we have Halloween Loop 1 and 2. Now, also as part of the vehicles this week, and I would assume for the rest of the Halloween month, you can get the vehicle interior bobbleheads. All of the different ornaments you can get for your interior, so you can get different like mariachi men. There's a bunch of different bobbleheads that are, of course, making a return for the Halloween season, so you can check out some of them. Some of these are actual Halloween masks that you can get that we went over, but you can also turn them into a little bobblehead ornament for the interior of your car. Now, one thing to mention is if you do buy them, for example, I'll just go down the list and buy them. You could see you can't claim them all. It's just going to keep applying the new one without saving the old one. So be careful not to waste money. Don't go down the list and just waste, $20,000 thinking you're just unlocking them all. You can only have one purchased and applied at a time, and none of the others save. Don't forget about your other removed vehicles here that you can actually get from the LS Car Meet in the form of your test ride cars. We have some awesome ones this week that I think players are absolutely going to appreciate. So let's start off with, I guess, the two that players are going to appreciate most. We have here the Benefactor Feltzer. This is a car with very quick acceleration. It's got excellent drifting capabilities because it's more like rear and heavy in the back, so you're going to slide around in a good way, so that's a good thing. You get offered pretty good customization options for like an OG vehicle here. You can definitely have some unique personalization with this car. It is going to lag in top speed and braking compared to other sports cars, especially newer ones in this game, but as an OG vehicle, it's awesome, and it just looks fantastic, and I think players are really going to appreciate the fact that it's back here for purchase. You can get it for $145,000. You absolutely need to buy it. Next, we have the Pfister 811. This is known for its awesome top speed in the game. I think it's like 132 miles an hour. It's very fast. It is going to struggle with tight corners. It doesn't have the tightest turning radius, but this car excels on tracks with long straightaways and like windy turns and things like that. It's a highly desirable vehicle. It's an excellent style and aesthetically pleasing car. I'm not too big of a fan of the front end, but the rear of this car, I think it looks very nice. And if you do want to pick up the Pfister 811 this week, it is going to cost you $1,135,000. Then finally, we wrap up here with the Coil Cyclone. This is an electric hypercar that excels in acceleration because, of course, course, it's electric. It has instant torque delivery here. It can outpace a lot of other supercars in terms of just acceleration, but the top end is going to die out very, very fast. It's not better than the Coil Cyclone 2, which is an HSW available vehicle on next-gen platforms. If you already own the Coil Cyclone 2, I see no reason why you should own the normal Coil Cyclone, but if you do want to pick it up this week, it is going to cost you $1,323,000. And as for our limited time rare and removed vehicles that are featured at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport, we have some pretty decent opportunities here, just a couple of them, which I will go over, some of my favorites. So starting off over here on the left, we do have the Anis Helion, and this is a super robust and enjoyable SUV to drive around off-road. It excels in off-road, but it's also really good in on-road conditions with the ability to tackle all types of steep terrain. It's really fun for adventurous drives up around Los Santos, of course, if you want to drive around the city, and also up in Blaine County, up by Mount Chiliad, things like that. It's not going to be a top off-roader into the game due to its ground clearance being the absolute highest and the absolute best, but it has extensive customization options. You can of course put bulletproof tires, but you can also put window plating on here for added protection. It's a very versatile choice for GTA Online off-roading, and if you want to buy it this week, of course, it's a removed vehicle. It will cost you $860,650 this week. Next up here, this is the Western Damon. It is actually a pretty decent bike right here. It's on the cheaper side. If you want to pick it up, it's $170,080, and of course you get this kind of cool livery that's applied to it. You can see the primary and secondary paint job that you can work with right here. Rockstar basically put a bunch of purple and green and Halloween themed liveries and paints on all these cars that are featured here. But the real bike I want to talk about, which I think players will really appreciate, this is the LCC Sanctus. Basically, it's a copy and paste of the LCC Avarice in terms of performance. You can see it will cost you $1,400,500. The difference between the Avarice and the Sanctus is you get the skull front, you get the super cool like bone electric handlebars and hand guards and things like that. It's a really raw looking bike. You get the rib cage frame of the bike and cobweb basically fenders for the wheels. I mean, it's super cool. I love this bike. This is definitely a very thematic and fun bike to drive around here in this game. Of course, you get awesome acceleration with it, a super tight turning radius. It's a very thrilling choice for races, and it's agile enough for city driving, just to drive around with it and ride on it. The performance is going to be a little bit unpredictable on rough terrain, of course, because it's supposed to be like a chopper, right? So you're gonna lose grip. You gotta carefully drive off-road. It's not meant to go off-road, obviously, but if you take it off-road, just expect to really suffer in the performance department. On the road, though, and on the track, it is awesome. Next, we have the Chariot Romero hearse. This is just like a standard hearse. You get the coffin in the back, things like that. It just is what it is. If you want to pick it up this week, it is going to cost you $31,500. It is another removed vehicle along with the rest of these, so if you do want to pick it up, you have to come to Premium Deluxe Motorsport for that. And for our final removed vehicle, we have the DeClassy Tornado Rat Rod. This one is going to cost you $264,600. This thing sort of reminds me of the Vapid Hustler in a way. Obviously, the turning radius isn't great. It's like kind of cool if you just drive it in a straight line. If you like rat rods and hot rods and all that type of stuff in this game, well, this could be your option. But to me, it's just kind of like a hunk of junk, and it's just not worth owning. But it is on the cheaper side, of course, if you want to pick it up. So you might as well do that if you're into rat rods here in this game. Here at the Salvage Yard, here are the following 3 vehicles that you can get for the rest of this week. Let's start off with the Albany Hermes, which is this week's standard range vehicle. As you can see here, it's featured in the Duggan robbery. The Pagasi Torero is this week's top range vehicle that's featured in the Podium robbery. But the real advantage of doing some Salvage Yard robberies this week is for this week's claimable vehicle, as you can see right here because of the garage icon. This is the Albany Frankenstange or Frankenstang, however you want to pronounce it here. It's a Halloween themed vehicle. This is normally available on in-game websites to purchase throughout the Halloween event. It's only limited time because it will only be featured during the weeks of Halloween that Rockstar decides for it to go back on the in-game websites. It's not featured here this week on in-game websites for you to buy, though, unlike the other Halloween vehicles we talked about. This one is only available through the Salvage Yard this week, and I'm not sure if it's going to make a return. You know, who knows? Next week it may actually go onto in-game websites and you could buy it for like full price or on discount or whatever the case is, but for right now, for this week, it's not on in-game websites for you to purchase. You have to do the cargo ship robbery at your Salvage Yard in order to claim claim the Albany Frankenstein vehicle here from your salvage yard. And there's also no word on if it has a custom license plate or not. Maybe there's a cool Halloween one. I have not done the robbery to see just yet, but I'm going to work on that this weekend. Jumping into our money bonuses for this week, we do have double money and RP on the Condemned Halloween adversary mode. Of course, we have Condemned 1 through 7 that you could see featured here. This is pretty decent to make some money if you don't have any sort of business in the game and you're looking to unlock one of your first few businesses. If you want to get festive for the Halloween season with your friends, you can play the limited time Condemned Halloween game mode. But before, of course, I would assume this gets subbed out and rotated out for a different one like Judgment Day or Slasher or something like that next week, depending on what we see. For our second bonus, we also have double money and double RP on the payphone hits here in this game. Basically, in order to take advantage of the payphone hits, you need to own an agency, and I'm sure any player who's looking forward to farming these money bonuses this week already owns one, but if you don't own an agency, you need to own one to take advantage of the payphone hits. Basically, the payphone hits are going to pay you out $90,000 every 10 to 15 minutes. Right now, they're on a 10-minute cooldown. Call it 5 minutes to complete the payphone hit itself, so you can make $90,000 every 15 minutes, about their round numbers with the payphone hit, give or take a little bit less or a little bit more depending on how quick or how long it takes you to complete them. You used to make basically, what was it, $85,000 every 48 minutes, and that was already basically a nerf. And then originally you could also make the $90,000 or $85,000, but that was only on a 5-minute cooldown originally when the payphone hits release. Rockstar keeps adjusting it here, and maybe they'll adjust it one more time in the future before GTA 6 releases, who knows, but that is another bonus for this week. And then finally, for one of our last bonuses here, it's all the way down here at the Arena Workshop and just the Arena property itself, Maze Bank Arena. We do have triple money, triple RP, and triple Arena points on the Arena War Series game mode, so you could take advantage of that. If you're looking forward to finally taking advantage of this and having a populated playlist of players for Arena War, well, you can do that this week. So here we have an opportunity to get some Halloween themed vehicles, of course, along with some other removed vehicles that are featured back into the game for a limited time, things like that. So we'll start off here on Southern San Andreas Super Autos with 30% off the Chariot Romero hearse. As you can see, you can get here for $31,500. We also showcased it at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport. In addition to that, you can get that DeClassy Tornado Rat Rod here, $264,600 that you can get off the in-game website. The Albany Lurcher is something you could buy here for $455,000. Of course, this is also a 30% off vehicle here in this game. The Albany Brigham is available. This is from the LS Drug Wars update, and this is also 30% off. You can get it for $1,049,300 this week. On Warstock, make sure to claim the Dubachi JB700W, which is the weaponized JB700 here in this game. It's going to cost you $735,000. Why? Because it is 50% off. Yes, it is half off, so you might as well take advantage of it because it is pretty cheap. The Vapid Cara is also on sale here for $1,242,500. This vehicle is also 30% off. And in addition to that, we have the other vehicles like I was talking about. Like we have the Coil Cyclone here in this game. That is a removed vehicle that you need to get from the LS Car Meet this week, so we showed that off. But in addition to that, we also have some other opportunities. Now, when it comes to our other discounts, the Arena War outfits are going to be 30% off for this week. But in addition to that, you can get free green and purple Martian bodysuits. I'll just include that in this section because even though it's free, it's, you know, a 100% discount. But you can also get 30% off the Arena Workshop this week here in game, plus 30% off the Arena Workshop upgrades and modifications. And in addition to that, you can also get 30% off all of the Arena War vehicles and Arena Workshop conversions. So whether you want, you know, the Apocalypse, the Nightmare, you know, all those types of vehicles, the Future Shock vehicles, all of these types of upgradable and convertible Arena Wars vehicles, all of these are going to be 30% off this week. So you have tons of different opportunities to get some really cool cars that have some cool abilities like, you know, jumping abilities, shunt abilities. I love the Nightmare versions specifically of the ZR380 because you could put the shovels, you could put, you know, different types of like saw blades and all this crazy stuff on these cars. So definitely check them out. And then of course, one of the other discounted vehicles that I forgot to mention is that LCC Sanctus, but it is removed from the game, so you need to get that from Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport this week as well. At the Diamond Casino and Resort, we have an awesome sports car. This is the Benefactor Schlagen GT, and this is going to be your podium vehicle for this week here in GTA Online. Applied here already, you get a purple paint job with a really cool livery. I made mine orange in this game, but of course we have to spin the lucky wheel to try and unlock this vehicle. It has an incredible exhaust. Of course, it's based off of a Mercedes-Benz, and it's the performance on it is really good. It's not like absolute top tier, but it's such a good car, and when it released, it was definitely one of the better sports cars that you could get. We're unfortunately not going to get it this week here in game, but It is just a really fun car to drive. It's thrilling. The handling is great. Acceleration is really good. Top speed is just fine for a sports car. Tight turning radius, excellent braking. All of the above, like just a very good sports car. At the LS Car Meet, your prize ride for this week is the Lampadati Novak. And in order to unlock this vehicle, all you need to actually do is win the LS Car Meet Series race once. You don't need to do it for consecutive days in a row. You don't need to win multiple races. Just win one LS Car Meet Series race. Place first, and you will get the Lampadati Novak, which is, I think, probably the best SUV that you could be driving around here in GTA Online. If not, it's definitely a top 3, 100% a top 5 vehicle. I'm not sure of the stats. We are going to test it out in my free vehicles guide on Saturday, so you can see what it's all about. I just forget off the top of my head, top speed, acceleration, all that, but I know it's a very, very, very good SUV to drive in this game. Here we are at the gun van for this week. We're going to check out what's on offer for us, but just in case you're curious, this is the location of the gun van for the date of Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. We are located here in Murrieta Heights, so you can see the location on my mini map. When it comes to the weapons, we do have the baseball bat featured here. We have the RPG, the grenade launcher, the heavy pistol, the combat shotgun, as well as the combat MG. Now, the RPG is going to be 30% off for all players in this game, so say if you're just ranking up and you want to take advantage, you can get the RPG for 30% off. For GTA Plus members only, if you are a paying member, the grenade launcher is also going to be 30% off for you. That's everything that you guys can enjoy this week in GTA Online. Of course, we have a lot of the returning Halloween content that we've seen in years previous. I'm driving around the Albany Lurcher. I just enjoy driving this thing along with the Frankenstein during the Halloween season and Halloween event here in GTA. But thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. In the following weeks, we're going to definitely have some new content to check out and new exciting opportunities just with, like, you know, different rewards as well as Halloween weather, things like that. So make sure to tune back into the channel throughout the rest of this month to stay up to date. But thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.